Amidst the craggy peaks and whispering pines, a determined prospector named Elias sought the elusive gleam of gold. Armed with only a pickaxe and dreams, he traversed the mountainous terrain, studying ancient maps and listening to the tales of old miners. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, he struck a rich vein. The mountains, once silent, now echoed with excitement and the promise of fortune. The mountain didn't care that men had spent 100 years tearing at its ribs. It stood the same, gray, patient, and silent, watching as another prospector climbed its spine with a pack full of hope and just enough doubt to keep him sharp. Eli Carter had been told the story since he was a boy. A lost vein, thick as a man's wrist. Gold that didn't flake or dust away, but ran solid through quartz like lightning frozen in stone. Men had died chasing it. Others had sworn they'd seen it, only to vanish before they could prove it. Most folks called it a fool's tale. Eli called it unfinished business. The air thinned as he climbed higher. Pines gave way to jagged rock, and the trail, if it had ever been one, crumbled into scattered scree. Each step slid half a foot backward. Sweat soaked through his shirt despite the cold wind clawing at his skin. He stopped at a ledge and dropped his pack. Below him, the valley spread wide and green, peaceful as if it had never known hunger or greed. Up here, though, the land felt different. Harder. Like it was guarding something. Eli pulled out a weathered notebook. The pages were brittle, filled with sketches and directions written by a man long dead, Thomas Hale, the only prospector who'd ever claimed to find the vein and lived to tell it. Follow the split peak, the notes read. Where the shadow cuts the ridge at noon. Eli looked up. Two jagged summits split the skyline ahead, like broken teeth. He smiled. All right, Hale, he muttered. Let's see if you were crazy, or rich. By midday, he reached the ridge. The sun hung high, casting a sharp shadow between the twin peaks. It stretched like a dark arrow across the stone, pointing toward a narrow cut in the mountain. Eli's pulse quickened. This was it. He scrambled down into the cut, boots crunching over loose rock. The walls rose steep on both sides, streaked with veins of quartz, white lines twisting through dark stone like scars. He ran his hand along one. Nothing. Just cold rock. Hours passed. He chipped, scraped, examined. Quartz everywhere, but no gold. Not even a fleck. Frustration crept in. Damn it, he muttered, kicking a loose stone. It clattered down the slope, striking something hollow. Eli froze. That didn't sound right. He moved carefully toward where the rock had landed. Beneath a slab of fractured stone, a small opening gaped, just enough to crawl through. A hidden pocket. His breath slowed. Now that, he whispered, is interesting. Inside, the air was cool and still. The space widened into a small chamber, barely tall enough to stand. Light filtered in just enough for him to see the walls. Quartz. Everywhere. But this time, something was different. Eli stepped closer, heart hammering. At first, it looked like a trick of the light, a faint shimmer running through the stone. He reached out, brushing away dust with trembling fingers. And there it was. Not flakes. Not dust. A solid line of gold embedded deep in the quartz, running clean and bright like a river trapped in stone. Eli staggered back, laughing, half disbelief, half triumph. You crazy old bastard, he said, thinking of Hale. You were telling the truth. He traced the vein with his eyes. It disappeared into the rock, thickening as it went. This wasn't just gold. This was the gold. For a long moment, he just stood there, breathing it in. The silence, the weight of it, the realization that everything, every climb, every failure, every doubt, had led to this exact point. He could walk away now and be rich beyond anything he'd imagined. Or, he looked deeper into the rock, where the vein vanished into darkness. He could follow it. Eli smiled slowly. Guess I'm not done yet. He grabbed his tools, the sound of steel echoing through the hidden chamber as he struck the first blow. Outside, the mountain said nothing. But deep inside, something ancient and golden waited to be uncovered.